Alright guys, as you saw from our intro, we spent a lot of time working to make this wheat field. It is very big. It took a long time to gather enough life essence to be able to make this. Of course, it's not the forever wheat, which would be really nice for just gathering lots of wheat for some of the food recipes and stuff, but it's not right now. Maybe in the future we can slowly transform it. I'm also not entirely sure, expand it more out that way in that space a little bit, just to make it feel really full. I like how it looks over here, so I won't expand it anymore that direction. But since we've got a lot more planes over here to this side, it might keep going. But we'll see about how that goes in the future. Next, let's go ahead and work on the custom tree by the pond. Okay, as you can see here, I got the base outline of the tree I want by the water. I'm not loving this dark color for sure, but I like that it's a bench instead of chairs. It makes it so that you can actually sit, which I think is pretty cool. The only problem is that in order to have a bench here, you have to have blocks underneath. And so we had to put these top slabs here, and then to get the ropes to connect up, we put some side slabs on the edges as well, and we'll probably put some back here just so that these feel like they're connected to each other. And we need one more rope, and then of course we'll put the leaves on the tree next. It'd be interesting and very helpful for making custom trees if at some point during a future update there's some kind of mechanic you could apply to a natural generated tree that actually makes it not act like a falling tree. That way you could determine if it's a tree that you wanted to build a home out of. There's those huge redwood trees that grow so tall, and it'd be very cool if you could just plant your own redwood tree that tall and then change it so that it works like a regular placed tree mechanic, so that it doesn't fall over. Then you can add things to it and take away and update it without having to worry about your whole home coming. It looks like when I started chopping leaves on the skinny trees that it actually treated it as me taking down the tree, and so these ones stopped growing. Either that or they just stopped growing because they're a little too close to each other. Well, never mind, I take that back. You can chop the leaves and a tree will still keep growing because it grew with this on it, and now there are more leaves for us to chop. This episode's devotion comes from something that stood out to me in my personal reading time. Psalms 33:16-17. No king is saved by the multitude of an army. A mighty man is not delivered by great strength. A horse is a vain hope for safety, neither shall it deliver any by its great strength. This is a verse about the sovereignty of God. God's sovereignty means that he has authority over all creation, and nothing happens outside of his will. While we don't have time here to fully go into it, I will link a resource in the description. But what this verse means for us is sometimes, even if we trust God, we can find ourselves trusting in others to help us, or even to help ourselves. You may trust money, a friend, or your own strength, but those things can change in the blink of an eye. If you trust in God, you don't need a backup plan. God works all things for good for those who love him. Romans 8:28. So instead of trusting in yourself or those worldly things, put your trust in God and know that he's in control of everything. Yeah, I think that tree looks really good now. I'm liking the shape of it and how the branches go to connect to the bench. Now, again, I still am not a huge fan of the bench, so we'll look into how we can change this in the future. But we'll leave it for now as we think about what our options are, just because I don't see any other benches that I currently have that I like, and so I think we're either going to have to wait for a future update or go out and find one on our own. I think it's time for a quick break. I'm looking for more of the sturdy Chitin so that we can upgrade our armor's workbench, which means we'll also need to get some thorium ingots over there while we're at it. And then we can get the next level of armor. I figured out that those wasps that we love so much, they drop these actually. So we're going to enter like a wasp nest or something like that so that we can farm a whole lot of these. Okay, we've made it to the desert. On the way over here, we found a couple turtles and scorpions and stuff. And so we got a little bit. While that does work to get these in a lot safer of a method than going into the wasp nest, I've heard that the wasp nest is just faster. And so that's why we're going to give it a try. Now, the wasp nests are usually found inside the Badlands, and so I'm not really sure where one is, but I found the largest Badlands that I could nearby, and we will just see. We're also out here for thorium. We're going to stop and make a pit stop along the way and check out what's down here in this structure. These things are the ones that drop the Chitin even better than the flying guys. Now, this isn't the wasp nest we were looking for, but it's definitely going to get us what we came here for. The structure's quite large, but it's not all that much dangerous. Whoa, and it still goes down way more. Let's go this way first. I feel like this way doesn't extend nearly as far as that, since that's going down. Three of them's not great. Four. And that thing. Remember how I said this place wasn't too dangerous? That was before I knew they were all camping one spot. Wow, that was a lot of people. I still hear more. To head downstairs. Oh, we came to another door, kind of like chest room. Oh. It reminds me of that one huge room we found at the snowy place. It looks like it leads up to a big boss fight with the new elemental. Okay, he wasn't too difficult to defeat, but we are pretty far advanced in our armor. Really cool looking room. Not as dangerous as I thought it was going to be, and not as much of a battle as I was hoping. It kind of a bit of a letdown with all the hype of the room. Okay, I'm gonna finish smelting up all this ore, and then we're gonna go through one of those instance places again and get one more void heart. Okay, we have our Dreadway. Here we go. Is not a good time for a void breach to begin. There's one. Alright, now that we have enough of our chitin, let's go ahead and upgrade our armorer's workbench. Perfect. Let's see if we have enough heavy leather to get the whole set of armor. Let's start with what I'm assuming is going to be the most protective piece of equipment. Alright, so we're out of adamantite ingots now. And so we're going to have to go and get more. I think it's because we used a lot of adamantite, even though we had so much. We used a lot on those instant portals in order to get the void hearts that we needed. But I said we weren't going to end this episode until we had a full set of adamantite gear, and I meant that. So we're actually going to go and try to get more of that right now. But I have another goal when we go there, actually. There is another biome that we haven't seen in Zone 4. And that's because it's underground in some caves. I don't know how dangerous it is, so I'm glad that we have our new adamantite gear. That's okay, because joke's on you, you threw me into the water. Okay, now I'm not going to spend my time mulling around in the ground to try to find a cave. So let's look for a naturally spawning cave. Okay guys, we actually came home really quick. I realized we left without the portal, so even if we found the underground cave, we wouldn't have been able to set up a portal to get there quicker. And I had enough adamantite, so I just came back, got a new adamantite shield and the gloves that we needed, and now we have our portal, so we're going to go back and try looking for it again. So we came to the top of this mountain right by our portal, and there's a structure up here. I came to check this place out because sometimes it seems like structures have ways down into caves, and so I thought maybe the best way to get down below would be to look for a structure. So I'm beginning to think that we're not going to find what we're looking for. I totally forgot that every volcano leads deep underground. So we're actually digging our way down this volcano right now, and then we'll be able to get to the underground area of this biome. We're getting close to the bottom. I hope that it doesn't like dead end as a cave. It looks like I can see the walls on both sides, but I'm hoping it's a really big wide cave, otherwise we came down here for no reason at all. I'm a little disappointed so far. And not disappointed no more. Dinosaurs! This is so cool. I was wondering where we found the bamboo wood from, and I always thought it was so weird that it would come from Zone 4, but it must be because it comes here. And I've been looking for the blue crystals. We'll have to get some of that so we can make some of the lights when we get back home. Oh, this is so cool. I feel like this place looks friendly, and I'm hoping that we find more friendly mobs. So far I haven't seen anybody living here, even though there's some beds. Which is too bad. I was hoping for some friendly mobs. Venus flytraps? Oh no, cyan flowers. I mean, you can't convince me that that's not a Venus flytrap. Okay, I want to bring a stack of 100 greenwood back home with me. That looks like a living creature. And by living creature, I mean that is a plant. But the plant's attacking me. Okay. Hey, at least we don't ever have to worry about nighttime down here. It's a cave. It's always dark, and all of these things kind of light up the area really well. I think that's another dinosaur. Like cave wrecks. I like how I can just block him somehow with my sword. Ouch! Different kind of dinosaur. Thankfully, he was friendly. So as you know, for our mega build, we're going to be making a Hanok village. And well, how could you make something from South Korea without cherry blossom trees? So that's why we wanted to come here to this place, to find the cherry blossom leaves. Well, I'm sure they're not actually called cherry blossom, but we're going to use them to make custom cherry blossom trees. But I was also very curious to know if it was a relatively safe biome to make a home and live in. I don't feel too threatened, and maybe that's just because of how cool the atmosphere is, and these creatures don't feel too bad to fight. Oh, this wood's so cool looking. I hope it has its own custom furniture types and stuff too, instead of just being labeled hardwood and looking like everything else. I don't think this really jungly vibe though is going to fit our mega build's theme. So I'm definitely not leaning towards making this be the location of it. I think it'll end up being in some kind of mountainous region, or like the valleys between a mountainous region so that it's surrounded. Okay, we set up a portal inside this tree. I feel like it's a pretty safe location. Okay, now that we've unloaded a little bit, let's head back and get some of those pink leaves. Now this wood I'm picking up doesn't look like the same thing we see here. Yeah, that's too bad. It looks like this. If I place that, is it going to... Aww. I'm so disappointed. I want to be able to place the trees like this. So if I want these kind of logs, I'm assuming I won't be able to get them unless I'm in creative mode. We're back from chopping down. This was just about one of those trees that we took down, and it gave us quite a lot of leaves. So these are our chests that we've been making for our mega build. Go ahead and put it in here for now. I don't know if we're going to end up using this particular wood. We might find something else a little more pinky, purpley. But we'll just put it away for now. And if you're wondering why we're putting it in here instead of our regular chest room, it's because we don't want our crafting tables to auto pull any of these materials in, because then, well, then we don't have them. Well, that's going to be the end of this episode. We did a lot today, from starting out with all of our wheat field and getting that all finished, as well as getting all of the chitin so that we could upgrade our armor to the adamantite. And we also built our custom tree with our hanging bench. And again, we're going to keep looking for a different kind of bench to hang there, but I think it's fine for now. And we also went and we gathered all of those pink leaves for our mega build. We'll be gathering more behind the scenes, but pretty soon here, this base is going to be finished and we're going to be moving on to starting terraforming where we're going to put the mega base. I'll catch you all next time. Bye!